Before we start, I want to ask you to subscribe to my channel for more real life stories like this. And if this story resonates with you, please share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. I remember that Christmas night like it was a slow motion nightmare. I'd been excited all week, decorating the tree, wrapping gifts, planning dinner. I wanted it to be perfect, but nothing could have prepared me for the moment that changed everything. It started with a text. Just a simple notification, blinking innocently on my phone while I was putting the last ornament on the tree. I didn't recognize the number at first. Curiosity made me open it. "Can you meet me tonight? It's important." It was from a man. I froze. My mind raced, trying to convince myself it was nothing. Maybe a coworker, maybe a wrong number. I brushed it off. I wanted to believe my wife, the woman I'd built my life with, was trustworthy. But that little voice, the one I had ignored for weeks, started whispering. The signs had been there, subtle but persistent. She was texting more than usual, sometimes laughing at her phone like it had a private joke. She would step out of rooms suddenly, claiming just checking on something, but always guarding her screen when she returned. Missed calls she didn't mention. Little lies that didn't add up. At first, I questioned myself. Maybe I was paranoid. Maybe I was imagining things. But slowly, doubt crept in unrelenting. That Christmas night, everything unraveled. The house smelled of pine and roasted turkey. The kids were asleep. I thought she was in the kitchen, arranging the table. I went to find her, and that's when I heard it. The laughter. Low, intimate, and unmistakably not meant for me. I followed the sound to the hallway. My heart pounded in my chest. There she was, my wife, talking on the phone, and I caught the last words clearly. "I'll be home later, he'll never know." I stood there, frozen, the cold air from the hallway brushing against my skin. I felt a storm of emotions collide. Confusion, anger, disbelief, betrayal. My legs moved before my mind could catch up, and I confronted her quietly, not wanting to wake the children. "Who is it?" My voice shook, but I tried to keep it steady. She turned, startled. For a moment, there was panic in her eyes. Then she smiled a little too forced and said, "It's nothing. Just a friend." But I knew better. That nothing carried the weight of months of hidden glances, whispered calls, and small lies. I asked again, more firmly this time, and she sighed, her eyes dropping to the floor. I didn't want to ruin Christmas," she admitted. "But yes, I've been seeing someone else." I felt the world tilt. The room spun. My chest tightened, my stomach churned. Memories of our life together. Our first apartment, our wedding, the late night talks we had when everything else was falling apart, suddenly felt tainted, like I had been living in a carefully constructed illusion. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run. I wanted to understand how someone I loved so deeply could dismantle everything we had built in a single moment. But instead, I sat down on the floor, numb, letting the quiet of the house and the sound of her voice confessing everything wash over me. In the days that followed, I pieced together the truth. The texts I'd glimpsed, the time she worked late, the small, fleeting moments that now stung like lies. I realized I had spent so long questioning myself that I almost missed the betrayal right in front of me. We talked, of course, hours of conversation that felt like pulling splinters from my soul. She explained, offered apologies, admitted guilt, tried to justify her actions without reducing them to excuses. I listened, tears staining my hands, trying to understand a version of our life I could no longer recognize. I struggled with love and hate, grief and lingering attachment. Could I forgive? Should I? The line blurred, and some nights I found myself holding her hand just to remind myself of what I wanted to feel, even though my heart screamed that trust had been shattered. Eventually, I made a decision. I told her quietly with a weight I had never carried before. "I can't continue like this. Not this way. We need to be apart." She cried. I cried. Not in anger, not in fury, but in sorrow for what we had lost. For the dreams that would never come true. For the family we once were, and for the small, quiet moments of love that were now marred by betrayal. Walking away was the hardest thing I've ever done. I still think about her sometimes, about the person I loved and the person she became in those secret moments. But I also know that choosing self-respect, choosing to protect my heart, was the only way forward. Life is quieter now. Christmas comes and goes with a bittersweet ache, a reminder of the night everything changed. But I've learned something vital. Betrayal can break you, but it can also teach you the strength you never knew you had. Trust, once lost, reshapes how you see the world, and heartbreak becomes a mirror reflecting not only pain but resilience. I don't hate her. I don't even entirely hate myself. I simply carry the lessons and the memories, the love, the betrayal, and the quiet strength that comes from walking away when staying would have destroyed me.